This tutorial will demonstrate beginning strategies for researching case law for Business Administration 305 using resources available in McIntyre Library. Let's begin by looking at the assignment and determining what we need to know. As I read over the case presented by my professor, I am looking for the details that I think might be relevant. I am also identifying concepts or legal terms that I don't know but will need to understand in order to discuss this case. In addition to the terms and concepts that appear in the description of the case, I need to be thinking about related terms and concepts that might be helpful in finding relevant cases and decisions. For example, this case summary provided by my professor mentions communication that took place via email and on online bulletin boards. As I research case law, I may want to consider additional terms like online, internet, cyberspace, or even an alternative spelling for email without the hyphen. The more terms I can collect, the more tools I have to work with when doing my searching. Remember, searching is a process of trial and error. It also requires being constantly on the lookout for additional clues that you can use to refine your search. We will begin from a research guide that has been developed specifically for this course at libguides.uwec.edu/caselaw. Among the resources listed on this research guide are some that are useful for defining and explaining legal concepts. Legal dictionaries and encyclopedia are such tools. We will use Credo Reference, which is an online collection of hundreds of dictionaries and encyclopedias covering a broad range of disciplines, including law.
Okay, here we are in Credo Reference. I'm going to look up the concept personal jurisdiction. This is a legal concept I'll have to understand in order to proceed with my research. I click on Search, and I come up with definitions that appear in several different publications, as you can see. I'll just select that first one in the Merriam-Webster's Dictionary of Law. And we'll see I get a definition for jurisdiction. As I scroll through that definition, I see personal jurisdiction and a definition there. I also see links to other legal concepts that may be of interest to me. At this point I might not know what they are, but if I click on one I can find out a little bit about it and see if it has any relevance to my particular case. So for example, I click on minimum contacts, and I come to a definition for minimum contacts. As I read that definition, it sounds like it may have some relevance to the case that I'm looking at. And look at this as well. This is one of those clues that we talk about, always needing to be on the lookout for. They mention a case, an important case that has to do with minimum contacts, International Shoe Company v. Washington. That could be useful for me in the next stage of my research. I may want to look at that particular case. Now that we have prepared ourselves with an understanding of some of the concepts relevant to our case, we're ready to dig in. The next video will demonstrate some strategies for searching in LexisNexis Academic for case law.